that same shirt on.
Rich Prater, and I'm a private investigator. Rich Prater, and I'm a private investigator. Rich Prater, and I'm a private investigator. Rich Prater, and I'm a private investigator.
Now, he said that. Okay. So, this clown decides that he wants to jump in my phone messages yesterday because I put up a video. He's trying to make friends with Beja. And Beja told me, yeah, we're supposed to get together on the 1st of February, and blah, blah, blah. And she said, I didn't tell him that I knew he got caught with the private investigator thing, and blah, blah, blah. Well, Rich tells me that he's done with the case and blah, 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 but he's trying to be friendly with Tracy Monet, asking me for her number last night, which I didn't give it to her. And he's just trying to move. He's been watching my son's Facebook because he let me know about my new grandson. So he was watching my son's Facebook and blah, blah, blah. So I put up this video after I talked to Beja because I know that Rich's only goal about Beja is to make friends with her to piss the family off. And she said, well, no, he said he wouldn't talk about Darlie. I said, no. The only reason he's going there is to make friends, blah, blah, blah. So I made this video and I told him, I said, stay the fuck away from her, blah, 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 blah. And he gets in my texts. You motherfucker, you don't tell me what to do and blah, blah, blah. And you can go fuck your dead mother and blah, blah, blah. And your son's a piece of shit and blah, 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 blah. Right, Rich? Matter of fact, I'll show him here in a minute. He still swears up and down to me he never told anyone he was a licensed private investigator. All right? So, let me just... Because this guy needs to stop fucking with me. He needs to stop fucking with me. Threatening me and shit. I did let him know, though, that, I'm just really anxious to get back down to Texas to see my dad. And, with things going on right now, I might not be able to do that right now. But when I do, I wonder if he and I could stop and have a beer together. I wonder if he goes, but Bryan, you don't drink. I said, I'll drink an Old Duels of Sharps or whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why would you want to come visit me? Well, you're talking all this shit, right? He goes, are you threatening me? So, no. No. I just wanted to see if we could sit down and have a beer together, and you can explain to me how I'm supposed to fuck my dead mother. I wonder if you would do that. Blah, 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 because he's in Anna, Texas. Imagine that. I mean, maybe I could just stop on in, knock on his door, and say, hey, man, I guess you have some things that you want to say to me. Maybe we could say it in person. That's no threat. It's a promise. You mark my words, Mr. Rich Prater. You will one day stand in front of me. You might not know what day that's going to be. You might be at the grocery store or at the gas station getting a pack of cigarettes. You might turn around and I'll be standing right there. And I'll say, Rich, I think it would be a lot better for us to talk in person instead of behind the keyboard, blah, blah, blah. So maybe you could tell me about myself right now. And of course, I'll have it recorded because you're a bitch. You're a bitch. Your kids don't like you. Your wife don't like you. Darlie don't like you. Don't nobody like you. Nobody. Because you're a fraud. You're a fucking liar. And people think that I hate Darlie's family. No, I don't. I don't hate them. I feel sorry for them. I'm not going to put up their bullshit, but I feel sorry for them. When I was a supporter, I know that these are decent people. They just want to believe, and nothing's going to change them for trying to save their daughter's and sister's life. If they have to lie to save her life and it works, all power to them. It was really hard for me to get mad at Danelle, but I'm not gonna be. You're not gonna talk down to me. I could like you and still talk shit about you if you're messing with me. So right now, I am working to have in my hand. I think that with Darley's approval, I'm hoping I would like to have in my hand some letters that Rich wrote to Darley, crying about this, crying about that, blah 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 blah, to further expose him for the piece of shit that he is. Because this guy, he had me fooled. I'm telling you. He sure did. He had all of us fooled. So I don't feel so bad. He had all of us fooled into believing that he was a decent, upstanding person that just, you know. It's funny that when he got caught not being a private investigator licensed, that all of a sudden Darley was guilty. Well, I'm going to tell you this. When I left support, it wasn't because they pissed me off. It wasn't because I was just going to try and get back at them because they caught me lying. It was because I genuinely felt like she was no longer innocent. And when I moved away from support, they didn't like it, and that's the truth. My problems and my aggression on the Darlie Routier case started the very day I left support back in October 2011. They didn't like it. And, so of course they came after me. Of course they started making up shit. Like Diana with her goofy fucking ass. Diana. Oh, he got kicked out of his house because they were smoking marijuana. Well, Diana, that got spread around a little bit, and Sully has the absolute truth about that. Oscar. I never got kicked out of any house for smoking marijuana, you stupid motherfucker. And then you want to stop talk about sending me Bibles? Well, let me tell you something biblically. What God doesn't like is sorcery, psychic abilities, because that type of shit draws in evil spirits. God doesn't like sorcery. So you and your psychic ass are going straight to hell. Don't you ever tell me anything about Christianity, as I know the Bible back and forth, and I will slay you on it. But as far as people that practice sorcery, and that's what fake ass psychic abilities are, that's sorcery. That's witchcraft. And God doesn't like that. And you're going straight to hell for that. How about that? So Rich continues to want to fuck with me. So let me give you an example. Yeah, I told him because he was getting up under my comment section and just leaving shitty comments. Right. So I blocked him. And I told him the only way you're ever going to be able to make another comment to me on YouTube is when you're on my panel. And he won't do it. He won't get on my panel with me. He knows better. He said, "Oh, the only way I'll do that is you get my daughter," his daughter that told us all about his act. Yeah, my son might be this and that, right? But none of my kids hate me. And at the end of this conversation, he calls his daughter a bitch. So this is Rich. See, he knows that I can't get him on live with him. He knows that. That's impossible. So he keeps telling me he's got all this shit on me. I'm telling you right now, Rich Prater. This is what I'm telling you. I've got way more of this. I can say hi to Darlie whenever I want to, or let me guess, you're trying to stop that too. Darlie ain't got nothing to say to you, Rich. You fucked her and the whole family over. You did. You gave them false hope. And I genuinely feel bad for them for that. Live with me. See, and then he lets me know that he's looking at my son's Facebook because I've got a new grandson. His name is Zayden Presley, and he's absolutely adorable. Yeah, see, when these Darley supporters, that's what he is. Whenever they get mad at me, they always get a shovel out and sharpen it up and dig up Braden Ferguson. Instead of advocating for the crime that was committed against him, they use him as a pawn in a revenge case while they support a convicted child killer. Make that make sense to me. You know how many people have done that? It's me. But Tracy Monet knows the truth about my very first post about him. I know he was guilty. He said, the apples don't fall too far from the tree, does it? So Rich makes it well known that he smoked crack in the past, that he hired prostitutes, that he ended up in a mental health facility, that he did a little bit of time. So I was wondering if the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I was wondering if it was his dad or his mom that smoked crack. Was it his dad or mom that picked up hookers? Is it his dad or his mom that that made Rich be the compulsive liar that he is? And he didn't get that. So I asked him, look, he's talking shit about his own family. Why aren't you fucking wealthy, you fat pig? Yeah, he won't. He knows better. He calls that a threat. I can't wait to get down there to Texas to see my dad. So here he claims he's not scared of me, right? So he just ripped up his own victim card with that statement. Because in order to get like a restraining order or to have the police be involved with someone else when there's an argument, you have to let them know you're in fear of them. Why would I be fucking scared of you? He says, I don't feel threatened, but you threatened me because I said I can't wait to get down to see my dad. And I kind of have to go through Anna to get there. Yeah, that's where you live at now. Antifa Annie. His own daughter. My daughter, Breath, she's a straight up whack job. Well, Rich, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it, motherfucker? I should put you in touch with my other children and see what they have to say about me and blah, blah, blah. Well, Anna said that you only mentioned two daughters to her, so. Antifa Anna. Yeah, he don't want to talk to any of my son's brothers. Well, maybe he could tell them about baby killers to their face. So he doesn't get along with his brother and he doesn't get along with his daughter. We have never really gotten along. But Rich worked for his company and lived on his brother's $1.9 million compound. Apparently, he couldn't provide his wife with their own home, so he lived with his brother. That is a piece of shit, apparently. Actually, he should be in prison. He says his brother, Ryan, should be in prison. I'm going to make sure Ryan sees this. See, what I'm going to do, Rich, is teach you a lesson about two-facedness and talking about people behind their back. Because I caught you doing that to me. And I am going to continue to teach you a lesson about this stuff. Because look, nobody in Darley's camp, support or non support, wants your fucking fraud ass around. None of them do. And when it comes to you, as far as what you did to Darley Key and Dana and all them, I don't care what they've said to me or done to me. They don't deserve you to try and slide in and present yourself as something you weren't, that you're not, because you have a little tiny boner for Darley. And that's exactly what it is. And then they caught you lying and they disowned you. And they didn't get out here and start trashing you and talking shit about you like they did me. They just disowned you. And all of a sudden, Darley's guilty. What a fucking sack of shit. You can't get your way, so Darley's guilty. That means you've spent 5 years putting out all these videos of bullshit. See, I win, Rich, because my goal is to stop the lies. Right? Well, there is no more Rich Prater YouTube channel with those lies on it, is there? I win. He's got 4 other children, he says. And his kids, there's my daughter, and she's cute. There's me when I clean up a little bit. I clean up pretty good. That's my son, Zach, and there's my son, Chance. There's my boy, Luke, and there's my boy, Zach. There's Zach now and my grandson. And here I am. Before I started picking up weight. Oh, yeah. And there's my daughters right there. Ain't they adorable? And Zach likes to punch up people. Dad stuff. You wouldn't know much about any of that. Colorado Springs. There's my son Luke and my daughter-in-law Janie. That's my son Chance. That's me when I was 13 years old. 1973 Caprice Classic that my mom had. Me and my lovely wife Nicole. Isn't she cute? Here we are at Elix Gardens in Denver, Colorado. There's my son Luke, my son Zach, and there's Nicole skinny ass sitting on my lap. I just love her so much. Look at my adorable daughters. And that's my mom, the one that I could go fuck. That's my mom. Her name's Linda. She was a sweetheart. And there's myself at 8 years old, 9 years old, and my mother. No, that was 1980. Happy New Year, 1979, 80. My mother was gorgeous. And then he goes and apologizes. Really? And there's Godsmack. Oh, and I wanted to let him know. This is Braden Ferguson. This is my son's victim. That's the child that Rich decided to dig up and use as a revengeful pawn. I wanted him to see his face because I see it every day. I have to live with that every day, what my son did to this little boy. That's his mom. That's him and his mom. Shit. He was talking. He kind of accused me of. Let me see. He says, "I think you got googly eyes for her too." By the way, well, I tell you, I made some fucked up videos about Sully, but I caught her lying and doing some shit, and I was mad at her. But the bottom line is, in my book, even though I put these videos up, I can be mad at somebody and still fuck them over in video land. Sully's cute. She is. She's really cute. And the thing that gets me, and a lot of people they keep warning me about her, which is all right. I'm learning my lesson. But I'm about forgiving people. The thing about Sully is I didn't find out how smart and intelligent that she and her husband Steve are. She's really cool to talk to about true crime. She's very smart. And to be quite honest with you, I wish I would have never gotten so mad at her like I did. Even though she was bringing it on. I seen all that shit on Reddit. But that's okay. That's what Darley supporters do. And as far as I'm concerned, Anna is forgiven. I forgive her for that. She runs around on her husband all the time. I don't think so. Maybe. Oh, I doubt it. She doesn't seem that way to me. I'm pretty sure they have a. I'm pretty sure they have an awesome sex life. You can tell by looking at Sully. All right, I gotta stop that shit. That's crazy. I gotta stop that. But she just looks like somebody that knows how to take care of her man. Gee, I got told that when he was down at Diana's house, everybody thought he was a fucking lowlife, and that his breath smelled so bad it made everybody want to puke. But none of your people, like whoever was there with you at Diana's house, none of them said that to Steve. They waited till he left, right? He ain't that smart if he's with that bitch. I'm telling you what, she's very smart. Sully, or she's smart. See, I try not to call her Sully no more. I'm trying to call her Anna. Sully was the name that I had for her, the hate name. Anna is the girl name that she deserves to be called. He did tell us. Now I might have got I might have got the baby shower mixed up with another time, but he told me that they were at some outing somewhere with family and all them, and that Anna was sitting over just nodding off on dope, and that everybody noticed it. He did tell me that. See how he tries to play the semantics? Did I say license? He just like, okay, one of my good friends on YouTube is Perplexed QT. Her name is Laura, and she does true crime and drama. And yeah, there was a while there that me and her were fighting hard. A lot of it was scripted, a lot of it was just for views. But I don't hold grudges, and neither does she. And Laura's like one of the coolest YouTubers that I like on here. And yes, there was a hate thing going on with us about 5 years ago. And then he was talking, we're talking a little bit about Tracy. So there'll probably be a video dropped on this one because she watches all of them. And, I'm not getting into this stuff right here. I'm not trying to pick at Tracy. But yeah, then we're talking about me and Tracy's argument. And, I'm done with me and Tracy's argument. That was, I can leave that in the past. I don't have any problem with that. But yeah, she made some hits about me, about my son. So I made some hits about her son. You know, it's done and over as far as I'm concerned. I smoked crack for about a year. And he told this story about his wife that he found dead, committed suicide, and his daughter said that never happened. So that's all I can say. His daughter said that never happened. So here's the thing. He says I paid over $700 a month to support Beth and her sister for 15 years. So that means for 15 years you weren't living with your kids. And he's calling his own daughter a bitch right here. Here's me proving that Tracy, I had to prove to him that me and Tracy had just talked earlier this month. So let's go back to this. So, Mr. Prater,
And I'm a private investigator, and I'm a private investigator.
so Mr. Prater, I'm going to tag Zav Girl in this so she can see this too, because she had you on her panel, Mr. Private Investigator. I bet she believed you were a private investigator too. So here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. Every time you text me, because I blocked you from my channel, and every time you text me from now on, I'm not going to block you there. I'm just going to show everybody what a piece of shit you are. And in order to get me to stop doing that, is for one, you need to quit following me around everywhere on the internet. And for two, you need to be a man. You need to be a man. Even Danelle was not afraid to come up and debate with me. So why don't you be a man and let me open up my channel so you can come on panel with me? Be a man and defend your ugly ass wife. Defend her. Your wife's an ugly bitch, Rich. And she's stuck with your fucking ass. And the only reason you won't come up on my panel and debate with me is because you're a fucking pussy. You're a pussy.
Rich Prater, and I'm a private investigator. Rich Prater, and I'm a private investigator.
So this is me calling you out. I'm calling your hoe card right now. You're scared. You won't come on my panel because you're a pussy and you're a liar. And I will fucking own you with words to your face on my panel. And you know this. That's why you won't come up there. You have fucked with me. You have fucked with Sully. You have fucked with Darley's family. You have fucked with everybody. And you come up on my panel. And I'll put a fucking end to it. Otherwise, if you message me again, I'm just going to put it out here for everybody to see what a sorry piece of shit you are. You're a sorry ass piece of shit. Your own kids fucking hate you. Mister, I really didn't like the guy anyway. You were so anxious to tell on Sully that you told on yourself, dumbass. I like Sully. I like her. I think she's a good person. She's very smart. I regret ever getting into an argument with her because of your fucking ass. Are you a man or a mouse, Rich Prater? If you're not a pussy, you'll be on my panel within the next week. Let's see what kind of man you are. And until then, you can just take showers and jerk off to Darley. Bye. Have a nice day, fucker.